Yesterday, a woman named Stacey Williams revealed disturbing details about her having been sexually assaulted by Donald Trump at Trump Tower in 1993. Her account is particularly chilling because it was, as she describes it, a twisted game between Donald and Jeffrey Epstein. Just in case you need to be reminded, Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in prison after being indicted for sexual trafficking of minors. The allegations included his sexually assaulting and abusing dozens of young girls. Epstein was somebody Donald considered a good friend. According to Williams, Epstein brought her to Trump Tower, and shortly after meeting her, Donald immediately grabbed her breasts. As Epstein watched, Donald touched her waist, he touched her buttocks, and because she was so confused, she froze, while Donald and Epstein smiled at each other.
A tape in the NBC archives of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention.
After the assault, Epstein berated Williams, demanding to know why she let Donald do that to her, as if she had any choice in the matter.
He pulled me into him and started groping me. He put his hands all over my breasts.
Sometime later, because he's a creep, Donald sent Williams a postcard with a picture of Mar-a-Lago on it, and in his signature black Sharpie wrote the following: "Stacey, you're home away from home. Love, Donald." Of course, the machine has already been set in motion to discredit Ms. Williams, and Donald's campaign is following the usual playbook by claiming that her allegations are false, that they're politically motivated, and of course denying the incident ever took place while attacking the victim. But this is not something that occurred in a vacuum. Donald has a long history of having such allegations made against him. And don't forget, there's also a pattern of his own behavior and comments made on the record that make her story devastatingly credible.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
It's huge news, Sarah.
No, Nancy.
Yeah.
No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. I moved on her like a bitch. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy.
We've all heard the Hollywood Access tape before. In fact, it was released in the run-up to the 2016 election, if only it had mattered. In it, Donald brags about sexually assaulting women. He says, "I just started kissing them. I don't even wait. When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy." In order to minimize the horrific import of what Donald was admitting to, the Trump campaign, including Donald's own wife, described it as locker room talk. But we all know it was actually a damning confession. Just ask my friend E. Jean Carroll. A jury found Donald liable for sexually assaulting her and awarded her $5 million in damages. And E. Jean is just one of 26 women who have come forward with credible allegations of sexual assault spanning decades. If 26 women have come forward naming Donald as their assaulter, we can only imagine how many other victims there might be. The pattern is as consistent as it is sickening. We had Jessica Leeds in the 1970s, Kristen Anderson in the early 90s, Natasha Stoynoff in 2005, Ava Johnson in 2019. Time after time, Donald subjected women to unwanted kissing, groping, and sexual assault, if they had the courage to come forward. He denied, attacked, and threatened to sue them. But he never actually did file those lawsuits, did he? I wonder why. It's probably because discovery would have destroyed him. As disturbing as all of this is, It's happened against the backdrop of the language Donald has used over the decades to talk about his own daughter. A White House staff member reported that Donald regularly made sexual comments about Ivanka's breast and ass, even speculating about what it would be like to have sex with her. His chief of staff often had to remind his boss that Ivanka was his daughter.
You know who's one of the great beauties of the world, according to everybody, and I helped create her?
Who?
Ivanka. My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body. Yeah, she's hot.
In the past, Donald's been shameless about his grotesque obsession with his own child. On The View in 2016, he said, quote, "If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her," unquote. In a 2015 Rolling Stone interview, he talked about her beauty and said, seemingly without any insight into how disturbing this is, quote, "If I weren't happily married and, her father," unquote. We're beginning to see where this obsession has led us. Just hours after the Williams allegations broke, Tucker Carlson, before introducing Donald at a recent rally, described America as a, quote, "bad little girl who needs a spanking from Daddy Trump," unquote, while the crowd chanted, "Daddy's home."
If you allow your hormone-addled 15-year-old daughter to slam the door of her bedroom and give you the finger, you're gonna get more of it. There has to be a point at which Dad comes home. And when Dad gets home, you know what he says? "You've been a bad girl. You've been a bad little girl and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now. And you earned this. You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl."
The sexualization of power over and violence against women is not a bug in Donald's movement. It's a feature, and it's being led by men like him and Tucker Carlson, who are misogynists to the core. Let's make this as clear as possible. Over the decades, 26 women have told strikingly similar stories about being sexually assaulted by Donald Trump. A jury recently found him liable for rape, and that is the word that the judge in the case used. In the Hollywood Access tape, Donald acknowledged that he assaults women and believes that he is perfectly within his rights to do so. Since she was very young, he has sexualized and made overtly sexual comments about his own daughter. His rallies are descending into disturbing displays of patriarchal fantasies about the subjugation, infantilization, and sexualized punishment of women. So the question is this: does all of this information, the history, the allegations, the patterns, the on-the-record comments, the evidence we've seen with our own eyes, make Stacey Williams' accusation more or less credible? I know what I think. Hey everybody, in case you weren't aware, I am spectacularly bad at self-promotion. So here goes. Please subscribe to our channel and like and share our videos. Your support means so much to all of us. Thank you.